know her best for making you laugh and cry in her Emmy-nominated role as Kate Pearson on NBC's hit show, This Is Us. Now, Chrissy Metz is taking on another inspiring and emotional role in the upcoming film, Breakthrough. And in her real life, she has several breakthroughs of her own. I'm excited to welcome my next guest, Chrissy Metz. Come on out.
Finally! How are you?
Oh my goodness.
It's been like years in the making, right?
It has. A lot of effort.
Yeah, I know.
I'm so happy.
Thank you for your patience.
No,
I've been a busy girl.
Yeah, you have been busy.
Gratefully.
Actually, speaking of busy, everyone was stunned watching the season finale of This Is Us.
I know.
Right, so we see your character Kate gives birth to a 28-week-old child, which is a risky time to give birth to a child. One of our children was born early, so I lived it a little bit. And then you have to fast forward in the show, and I see the baby's okay.
Yeah.
I see Toby, your husband in the show, is around, although he's not wearing a wedding ring.
That's what people notice.
Yes. And where are you? Your character's not there. What happened?
She could be at the dry cleaner. Who knows?
Now, when did she die?
What? Are you a writer on the show? Do you want to be a writer on the show? That's the thing, is what's so beautiful about This Is Us and the writers is that because it's not linear, we can sort of take you everywhere. And we want to go everywhere, right? So we'll find answers in season 4, and I do know what's happening, just in case you want to know. But I'm not going to tell you because you don't want to open up the present too soon, right? You want to
I would open the present up.
I know. You might want
to. Just give me I'm a doctor. Give me the diagnosis she has.
Don't worry about it.
All right.
Don't stress yourself. Just enjoy it.
So I actually knew I was going to love you because I did Watch What's Happening Live with your co-star, Toby. His real name is Chris Sullivan, as you know.
He's the best.
He adores you. Hilarious guy, by the way.
Beyond.
And he told me a lot about the behind-the-set events, the shenanigans that goes on that keeps you guys so energized.
Well, that's him. He is Mr. Shenanigan. Like, honestly, we're in these like really heavy emotional scenes, and then he's like cracking jokes, in between. And it helps. Like, we need some levity, of course, but yeah, he's always doing
gallows
something silly.
humor.
Yeah,
it works.
Yes.
So let me brag on Chrissy. She just had her first live televised performance at the ACMs alongside lots of powerhouse singers, including Carrie Underwood. There she is. She was singing her song from Breakthrough. What was it like being on stage? All of America's watching you.
Yeah.
And it's about a really beautiful song from a movie we'll speak about in a second.
Yeah, I mean, it was so, I'm a girl from a little small town in Florida, and you sort of dream about these things happening, but you don't ever know if it's going to really happen. And to be on the stage with these incredible artists who I've revered for quite some time and I love, I was like, this is a moment, and a moment for women in country music, and it was pretty incredible.
Oh, special. You were wonderful in it.
Thanks.
I am curious how you deal with all the emotion. This great movie, Breakthrough, it's riveting, but it's up and down emotionally for you, so it can work for us.
Yeah.
The depth that you have to pull from that has involved members of your family. I know your mom had been ill for a while.
Yes, my mom had a stroke 2 years ago now, but physically she's doing better than she's ever done before. So it's wonderful.
But I understand the fear.
Yeah.
When she had this stroke.
Oh yeah.
Helped you identify a bit more with the characters in Breakthrough. Maybe catalyze your decision to move forward with the project.
Absolutely. Almost verbatim were the words that I said to my mother's doctors. I said, you can give a diagnosis, and I know you practice, you're a doctor. You don't always know, and you don't always have the answers. Right. You don't know my mom, but we have to only speak positive thoughts around her. And Joyce said those exact same things to her son John's doctors, and I thought, this is no coincidence, at all. So
This Is Me, New York Times bestseller. I had the paperback finally.
Yeah.
Hard to find a hardback these days. Famously, you comment that you had 81 cents in the bank when they called you to audition for This Is Us.
Yeah. Yeah, I needed to borrow gas money to get to the audition. It's funny now, but yeah, I mean, 12 years in the making of trying to aspire to be an actress, and it's pretty incredible. I mean. Yeah.
So have you changed since you got the break? Because there are lots of people who are still running around with 81 cents in the bank.
Sure.
Looking for, cab fare or gas money, but they're not getting the role.
Yeah, and I have to, just for me, it was never about, oh, I want fame and fortune. It was like, I want to relate to people. I want people to relate to me. And I think that's so much about what we do as intention, and those were always my intentions. So
have those intentions stayed the same?
Yes.
Because there are temptations to alter.
Sure. I mean, as we do and evolve, sometimes for better or worse, sometimes. And of course, in this industry, it's challenging. You're sort of treated a certain way, and I always have to remind myself that, like, we're all the same. Like, I am the same as every single person on watching and in this audience. Like, I just have a different job. So.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
So I understand you are blessed to have or share a meal with my mentor, Oprah.
I know.
And
Isn't that cute?
She's the best.
Yeah,
and
she is.
She apparently said something to you that I've heard from her in the past, which is you should be proud of what you've done in your life.
Sure.
Too often we sort of distance ourselves. What happened? I mean, she's not apologetic about anything because she does exactly what she needs to do.
Also because she works so hard for it. Yeah. So I walked into her home, and of course I'm like, what is this place? And I said, wow, your home is so beautiful. And she said, I know, thank you. And people, you're sort of like, what? Because we're taught to sort of deflect. And, this dress was on sale. Instead of just saying thank you or just owning that moment and saying, yeah, I worked really hard for this. And that's what she did. And it was like, I was there for 2 seconds. Oprah Winfrey, folks.
There she is.
There she is.
I'm grateful to her, and I think about her a lot when I have breakthroughs, sitting here on the show and talk to guests, because the ideas came from her.
Sure.
Just the wisdom of how to let a guest tell their story.
Right.
You practice gratitude. Who do you look to? What ideas come to your mind?
For me, I start gratitude the first thing in the morning before I even put my feet on the floor. When I get out of bed, at least 10 things that I'm grateful for.
You write them down? Do you
I just say them out loud. For me, it just sort of centers me and starts the day in a positive way.
So what are you grateful for this morning?
Oh my goodness, that I woke up, that I'm mobile, that I'm healthy, that I have incredible people that love me and support me and who are making all of these wonderful things in my life happen. Like we could spend an hour on gratitude.
You could, but we don't.
But we don't.
We spend a lot of time on the anti-gratitude issues.
Yeah.
Speaking of gratitude, Chrissy stars in this new movie I've been alluding to called Breakthrough, which is based on an incredible true story with a big health element to it. She plays a mother whose son fell through a frozen lake, drowned. When I say drowned, like literally drowned.
Yeah.
Heart stopped beating for 45 minutes. And what happened next is very difficult to explain with science. As a doctor, I can tell you, I have no idea how this happened. But you might be able to explain it with prayer. You get the goosebumps we get when you watch that?
I don't know if it's goosebumps as much as it's like, wow, that's what I have to remind myself to do every day. Just surrender, and it's tricky. It's really tricky to do, but also because the story is so moving that finally when she surrendered and she trusted, that's when the miracle happened,
So when you were with your mom in the darkest moments, is that what you were saying to yourself?
Oh, sure. You pray, you storm the heavens with your prayers, and then you have to let go and let God. For me, there's nothing else that you can do at that point. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
When we come back, DeVon Franklin, our friend, is here. He's a faith leader, comes on the show a lot, and he happens to be the producer of Chrissy's new movie, the little clip you just saw of. The real-life medical miracle that inspired this film is next, so stay with us. I love how emotional you guys are watching the movie.
Because, this is a true story.
Yeah.
That we're obviously invested in, and it's still unbelievable for me.
Totally.
Oh my goodness.
And seriously, Dennis and Josh and Chrissy are so good in that moment. Every time I watch it, I'm like, he's not going to make it.
That's right.
We're in it.
We're in it. That's true.
You don't know the ending. There's a clip from Chrissy Metz in the new film Breakthrough about a mother's belief in the power of prayer to heal her son against all odds. Chrissy's back with the film's producer, faith leader, a very good friend of mine, DeVon Franklin. So I appreciate the fact that you're experiencing it with us. By the way, how is making this movie, Breakthrough, different from making This Is Us?
I think the turnaround time was a little longer. We shot it in 32 days.
Yeah.
Kate, I've been cultivating for 3 seasons, so it's a little different.
You haven't been public, at least I haven't seen you as public about your faith, as has become evident watching this movie and hearing you speak about it. How has faith informed your life?
Oh, my goodness. Faith has always been such a cornerstone, if not like the most important thing in my life. I mean, as I talk about in my book and we sort of touched on, is that I had a pretty tumultuous childhood. I mean, all of us, it's all relative. But I mean, I would go to church on my own, because I was seeking that connection and that conscious contact with God, and always looking for that. And luckily and gratefully, I have that, and I found that, and that's how I navigated Hollywood.
Right, so, but what kind of a problem as a child would you have where you would find solace in church?
My parents divorced and my mom remarried, and then I became the middle child, and so like navigating that through puberty with a stepfather, all of those things were like, what do I do? And just feeling inadequate, as we do, especially through puberty, like my goodness. So yeah, life. Yeah.
Life.
Life.
It comes in handy. Have some faith.
Yeah.
DeVon, you're one of the most powerful people in Hollywood. You're very, polite about it and humble about it, but you are. You attracted some superstars to this movie, but you had to get attracted to it first. Why?
Well, I was promoting Miracles from Heaven, one of the films I produced. And when I was promoting that film, I met Pastor Jason, John, and Joyce Smith. And when Joyce talked about going in that emergency room and praying her son John back to life, I said, I've got to tell this because it motivated me then and it still motivates me now. And I felt like this is the type of story that people really want to hear more about.
For years, we've watched this guy inspire America, finding films that just touch our chords, just play our chords in a special way.
Yeah.
How has he inspired you?
Okay, first of all, I don't even know how he wakes up at the gym at 4 o'clock in the morning, and like before he even, I don't understand.
It makes me mad, actually.
Stop it.
Angry, jealous.
I was going to say that, but I was like, that's not kind. But just the motivation and his consistency. And what's really wonderful is that not only has he become like a brother to me, but a friend. And like, so much of the guidance I never knew that I needed, but like I found in you, and I'm just so grateful. I mean, just the way that he lives his life is so inspiring.
Well, it's the ethics.
Yeah, you about to ruin my Kleenex.
It's true, though. It's so true.
And speaking of the ethics of making a movie, you felt it was very important to get the family on board before you moved forward.
Yes, for Chrissy and I, no matter how much we love Breakthrough, this is a movie for us. But for the family, this is their life. And it's so important to get it right. And so the family was involved during the development of the script. They came to set, met Chrissy, met all the other actors. We screened the film for them. They love it. So the family saying that we got it right is so important. It means everything to us.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you got it right. When we come back, you're going to get to meet John, the film's real-life medical miracle. I still am curious. I don't understand how he's able to even walk and talk, but he can do much more. Stay with us. As doctors, we believe in science, of course, but science doesn't always have the answer. Sometimes there are things called medical miracles. John Smith was just 14 years old when he drowned in a frozen lake. Yes, he drowned. And according to attending physicians, and I'm quoting them, he was dead for 45 minutes, which meant his heart had stopped. His story is the inspiration for the new film Breakthrough. Despite all that, John is actually sitting next to me. He is here along with Pastor Jason Noble. Back also is the film star, Chrissy Metz, who plays John's mom, and the film's producer, DeVon Franklin. I gotta say, I only saw the movie version of it because there was no one filming you when you actually fell into the lake. But what happened? What when the ice gave way under you, what did you think?
You're just fighting for your life at that point. It's that fight or flight instinct that everyone has, and at that point it was very scary, don't get me wrong, but we knew that we couldn't get back because there was so much ice between us and the dock. We were 25 to 50 feet out, so there was no way we could get back. So at that point, we were just doing the best we can, but we knew that we were staring death in the face.
Your two friends fell in after you, and they were able to get pulled out. You went under, and what did you experience when you were under the dark water with only ice above you?
For me, it was just, I could understand how dirty the water was. It was a greenish brown, just disgusting moss. And then after that, I really don't remember anything, just it being very cold and the hypothermia setting in.
Patients of mine, I'm a heart surgeon, so sometimes during the cases, people have problems with their heart, and they'll have out-of-body experiences. Did you have any recollection of what happened when you lost consciousness? Did you feel like you were leaving your body?
No, sir, because we believe that Breakthrough is about a family. I mean, from DeVon, from Chrissy, from Jason, all of us, Breakthrough is about a family event more than because if that would have happened to me, it would have been about my own experience. Breakthrough is about family and a community.
So in the film, John lay lifeless without a pulse. Doctors gave him no chance of survival, no chance. And then his mother prayed to God to breathe life into his body. And then moments later, John somehow came back, somehow woke up. Have you ever experienced something like that, Chrissy, in your life? How have you seen prayer play a role in your day-to-day life?
Oh, through everything, you know, I do. And before I either make a decision or whilst something is happening, I'm like, okay, please just be with me. I mean, literally to the performance the other night on Sunday, there were some technical difficulties, and I thought, okay, it's going to be what it's going to be. I'm just going to surrender and trust. And thy will, not mine, be done.
Because you were very calm during that.
That's what they say. That's what they say.
Yeah, when your mom had her stroke, did you have a moment where you felt you needed to pray like this?
Oh, sure. I mean, constantly. And all the time. And we sort of just sat around her bedside, and that's when I said, like, only positive thoughts and only positive prayers. And like, if you have nothing good to say, then you can step out of the room. And yeah, I mean, I do that every day, though. It's just that conscious contact, that positive, you know, collective energy and prayer.
John, any sequelae at all? Any side effects? Any bad memories?
You know, of course, I remember some things, but God really saved that and keeping it minimal. But I have no issues. I was back to playing basketball within the next month to 2 months.
Yeah, this is a picture of him playing basketball, by the way. I can't believe this.
But I was back to just being a kid and having fun. And, you know, there's no lifelong issues. The doctors actually call me back just to see what's going on with me, and they're in awe. It's not because anything's wrong, it's just because they want to see me.
So these are just some of the summary notes. The actual packet of your medical records is quite thick. And one possible theory is that the cold water, because when you're in very cold waters, there's obviously ice there, changes how drowning happens. May have decreased the amount of oxygen that John's organs needed to stay alive. But you know, when you look at these records, there really isn't a good reason why you were able to sit here, make words with your mouth, and be neurologically intact. Yep. I could imagine your body having survived. I can't imagine your mind coming back when I read what these records are revealing to me, which is the thing that's most stunning. Now, Pastor Jason, you were there the whole time. As you witnessed what he was like, and now sitting here on my stage, how do you reconcile that?
You know, it's the power of prayer. I mean, there's no question. When we walked into his room, the doctor said he was brain dead, even after his pulse came back. Brain dead, rudimentary brain function. If he survived, he would be a vegetable for the rest of his life, 1% survival rate. We took a group of pastors in and we prayed that night, and some incredible miracles happened in the room. And I walked back out to Joyce and I said, he is walking out of the hospital. I don't know how, I don't know why.
You knew it.
I knew it.
So, speaking of Joyce, your mom, I know that she's going through some medical issues. She couldn't be here today. So, since she's not here, let me ask you in privacy, because she'll probably never see this. What do you think about how Chrissy played her in the movie?
Well, they did a sizzle before the trailer, and me and Mom are in the living room watching this sizzle, and we're looking at each other like, when did Mom do this sizzle? Right. When did she do this voiceover? And we're sitting there in such confusion, like, what's going on? Well, it was Chrissy. And we were floored.
Feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I had to get it right.
It's Joyce.
Yeah, I want it, absolutely. I mean, it's so important.
DeVon, let me give you the final word. What do you want the audience to walk away from with seeing this film?
You know, Chrissy as Joyce has a speech at the very end of the film. And in that final speech, Chrissy says as Joyce that love is the most powerful force in the universe. I want everyone to walk out of the theater knowing that love wins. And when we love each other, we can have a breakthrough.
God bless you all. Thanks for being here. Breakthrough is in theaters this weekend. Go check it out. And you're all going home with a copy of Chrissy's book, This Is Me. It's now in paperback. Take the time, read about love. We'll be right back. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss out on new videos to live the good life.